Live, baby, live tonight from the Outer Rim in what is another gorgeous night here, guys. And I hope everybody is doing well because, man, am I fired up. Hall. I am feeling good. The Mandalorian debut today. I'm sure all of you know, and that's why you're here. And I got to tell you guys, everything that Disney has put out, Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, and The Mandalorian, I think they're getting better. I mean, personally, I was a huge Solo fan, and now with Mandalorian coming out, I've watched the episode twice. I can tell you right here, right now, this is the best thing that Disney has produced under the Star Wars brand. So absolutely fired up and excited to talk about the Mandalorian reaction, episode 1. And I invite you all to come join the hunt. Message me on Discord. I think I know most of the guys here. Message me on Discord, URZZZ, hashtag 5675, and just let me know, hey, I want to come on and talk to you about The Mandalorian, give my feedback, give my thoughts, and just open this up. This is a forum for Star Wars fandom like myself. You guys couldn't tell I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so it is an exciting time to be alive right here, right now. So here we go, guys. I told you that, well, maybe I'll just let the conversation develop naturally. I've watched the episode twice. I have some thoughts, and I'll just put it at a very, very high level, and then we can dig into it as the guests come on. So what I will say is what did this for me were a couple of things, 3 things in particular. The reliance on the original trilogy. We saw Nikto. We saw Kowakian monkey lizards. We just saw everything was very reminiscent. We saw moisture evaporators. Everything was so reminiscent of the original trilogy, and it used CGI very sparingly. And what I mean by that is the only thing that I really came to mind with the CGI was the blur grading, and that looked fantastic. Even when they did use it, it was absolutely extraordinary. And what I will say is their reliance on practical effects, real dust kicking up, real explosions, it looked incredible. So overall, that kind of goes into my next point. So I talked about the original trilogy, the cinematography, the way it was shot. I mean, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, those guys had a picture and how they wanted this to look, the whole spaghetti western vibe. And man, it was immediate and apparent right from the opening scene when he walks in the door. I mean, it just was top notch. And then the music actually was really got me. I thought, you know, I'm going to have a hard time with this because it's not Johnny Will. And sure enough, when they did the blur grading scene, they're riding over the terrain and stuff, I was really kind of riveted and feeling it at that point. And I will say that the part where he kind of does the whole crafting the armor, I mean, it just made me feel fantastic. And at that, I think the moment when he started crafting the armor, I was like, this is good right here, man. This is going to be good. So I am on cloud 9 right now. I'm so happy. Quite possibly the best Star Wars product that we've gotten out of Disney. And guys, it is time to bring you on and let me know what you guys are thinking, how you guys are feeling about all this. And man, here we go. So the first guy we're going to bring on is a friend of the channel here. And his name is Ryloth Leku. And there he is. We're going to bring him on. I'm going to send the voice call all the way down to Chile. Let's see if he picks up. Rye, need you to mute the stream on your end, my brother. And we will start talking some Mandalorian here, guys. Here we go. Hall, who's out in the hall? Well, we're waiting for Rye to pick out. Let me get some shout-outs here. We've got Nathan H., Brandon Sanders, Ravnos, Tekka Ninja Jack. Hey, how are you, sir? Zlor, all the way down in the Netherlands. We've got Mikey in the hall. Drew checking in. I stopped listening to the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes guys because I quit the game 4 months ago. Happy to hear my boy So very good. We've got Louis Fiorino. There's my man Rye.
Hey,
I hear him. He's talking.
How's my audio, man? Am I good?
I'm gonna bring you down just a little bit. You're a little loud. I'm gonna bring you down. How about now? Say something.
Am I good now? How's the sound?
I'll bring you up a little bit more. Hold on, I took it too far. Right about right now, Rye.
All right. I think you probably got it now, eh?
I think we got it. All right, brother. So
Beautiful.
you've watched it 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I just finished the fourth viewing. I had a nice day off today, so I had plenty of time to watch it. Um, wow, man, really, really amazing. Like it's hard for me to like I have to nitpick to find something bad to say about this.
Okay.
Honestly,
Let's start there. The nitpicking, because I mean, I've got a nitpick to find something bad to say about it. What was the one thing that was kind of like that was, if you had to pick anything that you didn't like about it? Because I think the majority of the fan base, Rye, would agree that everybody liked it. I mean, that's pretty much the consensus, right, Rye?
for sure, man. All right, so the only thing I can say is an aesthetic part of it, and it's the Dr. Pershing who
Right.
scared the Mando when he went in to get the that final bounty.
Yep.
His glasses, man. I'm not used to seeing
He kind of had like
glasses in
yeah.
Star Wars.
He kind of had like the German scientist, evil scientist look, right? I mean, I don't know German,
Yeah,
but,
I'm super interested in who he is. I have a feeling we're going to see quite a bit more of him. But the glasses totally threw me off. It was the only. I can't even say it was so intense
Hello,
that
what have
that
we
it took me out
here?
of the Star Wars universe. But
yeah.
it was you know,
I thought Horatio Sands was a little jarring at first in the first few moments of it, and I was just like, this blue guy, I don't know. I didn't know it was Horatio at first, and then I watched it a second time. I was like, yeah, it's fine. And like it's like the first thing you see, and you don't know what to expect. So for me, it was Horatio Sands, and he was like trying to talk his way out of the bounty, and it felt a little like the Mandalorian's being super serious, and Horatio was a little too comedic for me. I don't know. That was the only thing I
you know
could.
what it was for me. It wasn't the fact that he was too out of universe or anything like that. It was more seeing this first. It's the first time we've ever seen his race,
That
Mithril.
too. Yep.
I had to do my Wikipedias and all this stuff. I've never seen this kind of race before, so I looked it up. This is his first appearance, and I feel like it's a Disney thing where maybe like George Lucas with the Nemoidians. I know he got a lot of heat for like the racial tones of using like an Asian accent,
Right.
and I feel like they just went really PC, and they didn't want to give him an accent, but an accent would have been freaking ace, man.
Yeah.
Just to give him any kind of exotic
Perfect.
sound.
Yeah. I mean, they let Cassian keep his accent, so it's kind of an interesting deal, right? I don't know. That was the one thing that kind of just had to be right at the very beginning, and then right after they had that Big Bang Theory guy roll up in the Uber or whatever. I loved it. It was good. It was perfect. It kind of added a little, I don't know, just a little warmth to the cold environment there. It was great. I loved it. So, Rye, what do you want to talk about first? What really had you going?
The storytelling, man. 100% storytelling. My interest in the characters that have appeared, and obviously, it's hard to not get to the end of the episode with. I'm gonna say it. Here's the spoiler, guys. Nikki P. I don't know if you're still listening. This is your chance to get out.
Yeah. This is spoiler zone, guys. If you didn't hear me talking already, it's spoiler zone all the way.
The Yoda species, infant, toddler, whatever it was, 50-year-old baby Yoda species that the Mando was sent to retrieve.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
That was and I after I saw it, Rye, it was kind of like one of those shocking moments where I was just like, they got me. They got me. Like, how did, like, it took this to get me.
Never would see that coming.
Yeah,
man.
I never would have saw it coming. You think like Yoda's this sacred thing, and they've never identified his species, and they didn't really do a whole lot with Yaddle back when she was a thing in the prequels. But like Yoda has been this thing, and it's kind of like a George Lucas owned thing, and they've touched the original Yoda with like Rebels and that sort of thing in Clone Wars. But man, they got me, right? It was like full on excitement. Like, what? No, they didn't, and they totally did. Ugh.
No, that was full on chills from my toes to the back of my neck, man. Like I was freaking on that. All right. So with the second viewing, in rewatching this part where Werner Herzog's character is giving this bounty to the Mando.
Mm-hmm.
He has this part where he says, he understands that bounty hunting is a difficult profession, so he would accept this bounty dead. It doesn't have to be alive.
Right.
So like thinking about that, I'm like, dude, so all right, so these guys are obviously remnants of the Empire. He's got these anorexic stormtroopers that also we saw him in the trailer, but seeing in this in the show, like it totally confirmed my thoughts of these guys being like these guys are going through hard times. Those are the skinniest stormtroopers we've ever seen, man.
Pretty shrimpy.
So they're like surviving in this bunker in this planet where there's Jawas, and I still don't know if it's Tatooine, which is it's
It
got me
looks like
interested.
it looks like Tatooine, but I wish they would
It's
just.
like burned Tatooine.
It's like, yeah.
It's
There was moisture evaporators, and it was a little too gray though. Maybe that was just cinematography, but yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Rye.
so if he wants, they want this 50-year-old baby alive, but they'll also accept it dead. And we've never, I want to say there's maybe like 3 or 4 canon Yoda species characters.
Yeah.
And
3.
they're all extremely force sensitive.
Yeah.
So this furthers the theory that Yoda species is exclusively
Force sensitive.
extremely force sensitive.
Yep.
So they want to bring it to them to manipulate him, to make him a dark side Yoda, or they just want him dead because they don't want to risk the chance that he becomes this great Jedi Master.
Yeah.
And that's got me freaked out. Like the whole time I was sitting here thinking, like, dude, the Mando lore. This is expanding so much of the Mando. The armor. He's like slowly piecing his armor together, man. Like,
Oh, that was the best part, man. Like it was
the
like,
armor, the
yeah,
blacksmith. Amazing.
what was the name of the material? It was deck.
Beskar.
Beskar, yeah.
Beskar, I want to say.
And what's cool to me is because, Rye, I mean, we've talked extensively. For those of you guys that don't know, this community here is mainly a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community, and we're totally just huge Star Wars fans. But Rye, we've talked, and I've played the Star Wars RPG growing up. And, as a kid playing the Star Wars RPG, it was all this lore around Boba Fett's armor and, how Mandalorians came to be. And they expanded on that lore in the Clone Wars series as well. But it really kind of was like, oh, well, he just got one piece. And then it makes you think of like Jango Fett, and you're like, man, Jango had the full gear, man. We had maxed out Jango. I mean, it kind of made you appreciate what Jango went with what Jango's armor, whoever he killed to get it, or whoever armor that is. Like, it just was pretty cool to think about.
It's really cool how the Mando, like he has, obviously his helmet is 100% Beskar. It's this polished metal with no paint.
Yep.
It's the exact same as the shoulder piece that they craft in this episode. So he's already got the helmet. Now he's got one shoulder piece. I think in the trailer we already see he's got both shoulder pieces. I'm pretty sure there's a scene in the trailer where we see that.
Yeah.
So I am excited to definitely, like, the whole thing for me was like learning more about the Mandalorians.
Yep. Absolutely.
And this is something that you can only do in an episodic format of storytelling. The whole armor scene with the blacksmith chick that was in there, you would never see that in a movie.
Oh, right.
They wouldn't take the time to go into that kind of detail.
Yeah, I think our community over on Discord, that was one of the compliments Ouchie made, was that she was so excited that it was like a female blacksmith, big on like the Mandalorian like tribe and lore, and talking about how he was, I don't know, I forget the word he used, but he was basically like a fledgling bounty hunter or fledgling Mandalorian. It's just, and what I'll say, Arai, is Pedro Pascal's voice with that modulator for the helmet, it sounds so good. They nailed that. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Speaking of voices, when he goes in to get the final bounty, and there's that droid, that eyeball droid that comes out of the the door, like Jabba's palace.
Yeah,
the voice was spot on, man.
It was
so close to the original Return of the Jedi voice, man.
So what? Okay, let's kind of go through it, Rye, and talk about the callbacks to the original trilogy. So, what? So we had the Kawaki monkey lizard getting barbecued. That was just great. For those of you guys that don't know, that if I could have my way, I would have an actual prop of Salacious Crumb. It would be a puppet prop. And for all my live streams, I'd have my son working the puppet prop. So that's like my dream piece of Star Wars, collectible stuff to get. Anyways, so they had the Kawaki monkey lizard getting barbecued. They had the Jabba's palace guy answering the door. They had Nikto, which were
we have the
skippers.
Jawas.
Jawas.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Nikta.
The Nikto. Yep.
There was a Jawa. There was a Jawa. There was two Jawas in the same scene where we see the Kawaki monkey lizards. The very beginning of that shot, there's two Jawas screwing around.
Yeah, and
we get the full-on Nikta army going against IG-11 and the Mando. So there's the Twi'lek. Did you spot the Twi'lek?
I did not spot the Twi'lek. Where was it, Rye?
It's in the same scene as the Kawaki monkey lizard. I think it's right before we see him on the roaster. You see a Twi'lek just kind of does a double take of the Mando.
All right. Now
we've got the Rodian.
The Rodians.
There's a couple of Rodians. There's one in Carbonite, and there's also one in the original Cantina fight.
Yep. Then we had the whole shout out. We had the obviously the Carbonite, and then what I loved is the shout out to Life Day. That was great. That had,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean,
hoping to get back to his family for Life Day.
It was so good. I'm like, only like a hardcore Star Wars nerd is gonna get that. Like, that is so freaking good. And you know, Rye, we celebrate Life Day in the hall, so yeah.
Of course, it's coming up soon.
Coming up soon. What else do we have?
Who else? We've also got the I want to say to Kubaz, Cubis or something like that. That like he's got like a snout and he plays.
Oh yeah, the guy that called the Uber.
Yeah, the whistle and click dude. Yeah, man, that was the old spy that ratted on Luke and Obi-Wan back in the day. In Mos Espa.
Yeah.
Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley.
And then obviously we got the Ugnolt, which I think is badass, man.
Dude, he was so good. And it made me so happy that they didn't go CGI there. Like, just the way the character looked, it looked
the animatronics
real.
face.
Yes.
It's perfect, man.
It was perfect.
That is Star Wars. Like,
yes.
If it would have digitized the mouth to make it look perfect and sync every syllable and every consonant that he's pronouncing, it would not be half as Star Wars as it is with the animatronics.
No,
you know, it kind of looks like you're watching a Bruce Lee movie dubbed over, but that's what Star Wars is, man. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect.
Man, what I will say is it looked. I mean, it looked like an old guy. That is, I mean, maybe his face is kind of frozen up over time, but it looked perfect to me, man. It looked better than any alien species that's come out of the new trilogy. I can tell you that. And it looked like the best original kind of just makeup and art back to the original trilogy in my mind. It looks so good. I don't know. And just the character in general. What was his line? I have spoken.
Every time when he finishes what he's saying, he just, I've spoken.
Yeah, we're done. We're done here.
Done. That's all we got.
Yeah, and okay, so next thing, right? Let's talk about the IG unit. So we're both very familiar with our IG units. You know, a couple of them, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. How did you like how they handled the spinning and the pivoting and just the manipulation of the limbs? Like, that was done so well. Like, you see this super robotic IG-88 in Empire Strikes Back on the Death Star or on the Star Destroyer bridge, and it's just like you see how it moves, and it was perfect, man. I don't know how they could have done that better.
It was. My favorite part was when he stepped over something at one point before the second part of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he did like a full 360 with his hips so that he could step over it in an easier fashion. And that to me was like the perfect little detail. But I absolutely loved the IG unit, man. It was awesome. Kind of sad to see him leave in the first episode, but
I think we're getting another one. I thought we were gonna get another one because didn't they have a guy? Didn't the guy from like Thor Ragnarok voice it, or was that the guy? And maybe the chat can correct us here. Maybe, do you know, Rye?
He's an actor director, Tawiki.
Yeah.
I want to say his first name.
I don't know if that was his voice. It kind of sounded like his voice. Yeah, I don't know. I hope we get more of it, just because it was so cool.
I also like. Did you catch? He was pretty comedic as well with that self-destructing.
Yeah.
The whole time he was like pussing out the whole time. He's like, all right, self-destruct. Yeah. They got us. I thought it was hilarious, man.
It's Taiki Waititi. Is that right? Kool-Aid says Taiki Waititi.
That's him. Yeah.
They might bring him back, says Kool-Aid. All right, very cool. Rye, parting thoughts. We're going to go to Newt here. I appreciate you being the first man to come on and rap with me. As always, you are a national treasure of the hall, a galactic treasure, I should say. Anything you want to shout out before I go to Newt?
No, my parting thoughts are, I think I covered everything, man. I gotta save stuff for other people to talk about too. I'm just really
You
excited.
could go all night.
This
This is why we brought you on first, Rye.
yeah, man. This is amazing, man. This is what we need. I feel
Yes.
like it gaps the void of adult and child. Like my daughter was totally, she's 4.5 years old and she was glued to the TV the first time I watched the episode today. So you don't have to make kiddie Star Wars to make kids
Yeah.
like it, man. Like
So, yep.
do like old GL used to do. Speak up to kids, don't speak down to them, man. Give them something that they can think about that they don't understand, and the parents will do the rest of the work and make sure that we've got future Star Wars generations of fans, man. That's it.
Yeah, it's absolutely great, Rye. And I will echo that statement. My son, he had to go to school this morning. He caught about the first 15 minutes, and he was glued to it. So I'm gonna sit down and watch it with him probably tomorrow night. Maybe tomorrow. We got GAC tomorrow night. So, anyways, Rye, good talking to you, my friend. Thanks for coming on, and may the force be with you.
You as well. Hey, a quick shout out to my boy Night War. I'm down here in Chile where there is no Disney Plus. Night War got me.
Oh,
He got
yeah.
me good, man.
Yeah.
I'm covered.
I love how I went
That's
to
it.
I went to you, and I was like, are we good? You're like, oh yeah, I've watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like noon.
Yeah. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Have a great night. All right, guys, we're going to go over to the planet Newt. My man, we just left Ryloth. We're heading over to the planet Newt. And let's see if we can get him on. While we're waiting for him to pick up, I'm going to give some shout-outs here to you guys that joined the chat. We've got, let's see here. We've got Nathan H., Brandon Sanders, Ravnos, Tekka Ninjas, Lore, Mikey, Drew, Rye, Lewis, Fiorino, Kool-Aid, Borgalet, Sheepdog 47, Icehouse Swigo, Ouchie's in the hall. We have Zevius, Kool-Aid, Jibby Forsyth, Jibby, my man. We've got Sheepdog 47, Steve Deach. It's coming home, baby. We've got Vluxy's Carbonite Dreams. Anger leads to great. Scotty McLaren down in Australia. It is William Terry. We've got Lord Enclave. Who else? Is there any Smurf Herder? The Book. Book Hunters checking into the hall. We've got Nikki P. Who else is out there, guys? My man Cyrus with the donation. We got a donation to read here, guys. Cool Kent, welcome to the hall. It is who else? Hurtado 102, Rogue Killer, Khaleeson, my man, how are you? Good to see you. Here we go. We've got Gert Lees, Nowhere Boogie, Ranger, I got it. I had to sound that one out. Michael Harris, Maxi Soriano, baby. It is TIE Fighter Espresso, Rooster, Gart Lees. All right, guys, I'm just reading some names here. Newt, are you there, buddy? Here we go. Newt, my man, are you there?
Hey, brother. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, we got you loud and clear, man. What a night to be a Star Wars fan. What did you think? Give me your initial reactions.
Man, objectively, on paper, I should not have liked this, but I just enjoyed the hell out of the entire thing.
Now, why do you say objectively on paper? Because of Disney, or for what reason?
No, well, I mean, I've got one Star Wars tattoo, and it's all Boba Fett, and I'm a huge Boba Fett fan.
There we go.
And even my dad really did not like the Mandalorian because he was expecting some hard ass, because all the Mandos are hard asses. And I picked up on a couple things that sort of settled me down. I mean, first of all, the first thing I noticed was the way that the guy walked.
Yeah.
He did not walk like a tough guy. It was like I was thinking to myself, if they got the actual voice actor in the costume, because could they not have gotten a tougher dude to walk? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that there's a little bit of merit to that. He's pretty athletic, though, so I think he can do some stuff, But maybe he's not built like I don't know. Did Boba really have a walk though? Did Boba have a walk? Maybe he did.
He didn't really move in the movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just had that tough demeanor.
Yeah.
But it more so you got really more into his character on the in the books. I listened to the audiobooks of his story and all that, and he's just a total hard ass, and he's a businessman. Like he would not have taken half on that deal, you know, if that was Boba Fett. But anyway, I kept watching, and this could be like major Inception spoilers if I'm onto something. But
all right, so yeah, just a warning, guys. We're going into pure speculation mode here. So, Newt, you said you had a thought here.
Yeah. So the first thing was he was looking at the Mando chick who was hammering out his armor, and the act of her hammering the armor sent him into flashbacks.
Yes,
and it was flashbacks of, I presume, his parents being killed. If I saw that right.
Yes, I think that was. Isn't that the footage where everybody spotted the B2 super battle droid? I didn't catch it because it was such a quick flashback, but I think there was like a B2 and that was everybody was pointing to. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't catch that either. Anyway, it threw up some red flags that he's not who we're supposed to think he is. And everything started falling into place. His demeanor and everything like that. A little bit of his character started coming out, and he just doesn't seem Mandalorian. And then at the very end, when he found the thing, not only did he want to save it, but it reached up and attempted to touch him. Now, a Force-sensitive being is not going to reach out to a cold-blooded killer.
Right.
So, with that notion, I should not like this. I want a Mandalorian. I want a freaking bounty hunter. But at the same time, I'm so damn intrigued as to where they're going with this. Yeah. But I don't think he's either a Force-sensitive Mandalorian or he's not a Mandalorian.
Well, so my thought was that the baby reaching. So I was like picking up dinner for the fam, and I was like, this came through my mind. I'm like, well, maybe that Yoda just mind tricked him, and that maybe we're already there. That was what I thought. I was like, maybe he, influenced him somehow with the Force.
That's a good point. That's actually a very good point. I didn't think about that, but it was very curious that last little scene.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was like, well, he's a bounty hunter, and they established that very early on, where he's bringing in all these marks and stuff, and then he deceives someone in the bounty hunter guild, or a droid in the bounty hunter guild. So I kind of think he was influenced. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's also a very valid speculation. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's just even before he met the whatever the hell Yoda species is, he was just acting very odd. He was very submissive in places, and like the deal was the biggest one. The fact that he took half. I mean, he's been doing work. You could see that unloading all of his cargo, but he just, I don't know. He's just not. It doesn't. Something's up.
Oh, we got to learn more, my friend. But you got to be happy with how good it was. I mean, it was so much better than what we've seen.
I mentioned that I called my dad immediately after I watched it, and because we're both huge Star Wars fans, but I couldn't get over the ambiance, from the music to the cinematography, how retro it felt.
Yes. I mean, there is something. So here's what, they in The Last Jedi and Force Awakens, they recreated like Admiral Akbar's mask, and they recreated what Neem Num's mask, and they look like 4 sizes too big, and I don't understand that. And like they recreate an Ugnaught face in this thing, and it looks amazing. I don't know.
It looked
so good. That Ugnaught looked amazing, dude.
Oh man, I just could. Even that character, I heard you guys talking about it. I loved his little signature. I have spoken.
Yeah, I have spoken. Like, we're done talking. So good. We got a couple more people to go to tonight. My man, you got a few more minutes here. What do you want to talk about? Anything else that caught your eye that you wanted to bring up?
Well, just back to what we were talking about. I always hated as a kid, and this is why as a kid I hated puppetry and I loved CGI, is because you get these beautiful, interesting creations, and they're just standing there like a freaking lump. And
Right.
I loved that they brought that retro feel and everything moved, especially with the IG droid. Oh my God, it was just a phenomenal scene.
Yeah, and the IG droid was that was 100% CGI, right? Or no, it wasn't. It wasn't. That was an actual droid.
I think it was a mixture of both.
Mixture
Definitely
of
when he
both.
was spinning,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was CG.
Yeah, that was yeah. But I mean, they had Jawas, they had the Kawaki monkey lizard in the cage. That was a puppet. Like it just
Yeah, I saw the puppets in the cage, and I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, they got puppetry. This is perfect.
I don't know why filmmakers in today's day and age rely so heavily on CGI. Like the blurgs, I'm like, all right, yeah, that makes sense because they're really having to portray action there and movement.
Right.
But like there is just something about natural light that you can't recreate with a computer. And I don't know, the lighting on that Ugnaught was amazing, dude. I don't know.
Hello, what have we here?
We've got Chase Vaughn with a $5 donation. Ezra was force sensitive to creatures. The Mando seemed, let's read it here. Ezra was force sensitive to creatures. The Mando seemed to connect with the Plurg. Oh, look at that. Look at
That's
that.
another good point.
He did walk over and kind of calm him down. And he said, like, hey, remember the Ugnaught was like, you're a Mandalorian. Your clan has done way more impressive things than this.
Yeah. I think it was smoke. When the Ugnaught said that, I feel like they were throwing smoke in my face. Like, oh, this is fine. This is what Mandalorians do. But man, he calmed that thing right the hell down. It seemed weird.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just so excited. It's great. My man Newt, always great to talk to you. I do appreciate the conversation, and I hope to see you for the next episode recap. Was it Friday night? Is that what we got?
Yeah. Yep. I'll be there, brother.
All right. We're going to keep moving. You be well, friend. And we're going to go talk to Anditesh. While we're waiting for Anditesh to connect, we've got a couple of shout-outs to give here. Here we go. We got a donation that came in from Chase Vaughn with a $5 donation. Much appreciated, brother. Good call on the Mando connecting with that Plurg. Very good stuff. And then it was a $2 donation coming in from Cyrus Unseen. My man, Cy, a favorite of the hall here. Call out to Life Day was awesome. I love that. It was great, too, man. I don't know. That was at that moment, I'm like, oh, they didn't, man. They didn't do that. And I was just like, they got me. They got me. It was right at Life Day. It was the Carbonite and the Life Day. Oh, so good. All right, thank you for the $2 donation, Cy. If you want to come on, let me know, brother, and we will chat. Anditesh, are you there, my friend? See if we got him. There he is. Anditesh.
Yep. Hey.
Hey, man, how are you?
Good.
So, Mandalorian, what'd you think?
I actually enjoyed it. I got to watch it right before I went to work this morning, and then I had to work all day, so the only extra bit I got to see that I wanted to see more of was the IG-11 fight scene that he pulled off. Oh.
Yeah.
You were talking earlier, like, they really did pull off the movements of that droid, like, insane. That type of a droid.
Yeah, that scene must have taken so long to master. I couldn't have asked for it to be any better.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially what's interesting is like we don't really see a droid do that. Like we've seen like the commando droids in Clone Wars. We've also seen the I'd say the commando droid copies, which is the IG-86 droids, jump up and do kind of some stuff.
Yep.
But you don't see 88 doing that. You just don't. So it's like it was really interesting to actually see that droid. Like there was another droid that was similar to that, which was that one bounty hunter droid, C2 something high singer or whatever that Boba Fett was partnered with in one of the Clone Wars episodes, where they were on that train.
Oh yeah. That was Kid Boba Fett, right? Or was it like Kid Boba Fett back in the Clone Wars, where they were
it was Kid Boba Fett, and then he had that one droid that spun around, but it was like a rapid spin around, not like what IG-11 pulled off.
Yeah.
So I feel like they may have taken some inspiration from that because that was something similar. I kind of linked it to that scene with Boba Fett, or that Boba Fett scene
That's
in
right.
Clone Wars.
What about what did you think about Baby Yoda at the end, or the Baby Yoda species?
I was surprised it was there. It makes me wonder if, because I know if you look into like legends, there was at least in KOTOR there was other Yoda species.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember, and it makes me wonder if the Force has this specific mysterious species appear so often, and
Right.
every now and then they had Yoda and Yaddle together, but Yaddle didn't do much, and maybe just Yoda was just the more dominant of the species at the time with the most Force power. So it makes me wonder if this could lead up to possibly set up for a future series of movies like 15 years after episode 9.
Yeah.
And it could be. I could be wrong. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. Because that droid almost killed the Yoda. I don't even know what to call this.
They call it
species.
the Bing, right? The Bing is it? What he referred to it as the Ugnaught referred to it as the Bing. Maybe I'm wrong. Or no, he didn't. No, he didn't know. Someone referred to it as the Bing.
He didn't know. He didn't
know where it was.
Yeah, he didn't know. He just said that he wants the Mandalorian to get rid of the threat on the planet.
Yeah. Someone called it a Bing. I don't know where that came from. Maybe the robot called it.
I don't know. It's something we have to watch again just to really get all the wording right.
Yeah.
But I do have to agree though with the other guys talking about the scene with the armor. I thought that was interesting. And he did say, I don't remember the wording, how he said it, but it was like the Mandalorian was adopted into a clan, and Mandalorians in Legends were known to adopt. Jango Fett in Legends was adopted by Jester Muriel on the battlefield, so it could harken to that. And on top of that, the reason why he hates droids is the thought of the fact that he grew up during the Clone Wars.
Right. Did you happen to see the B2 super battle droid? I looked and I couldn't.
I did. And that was the thing that I just I keep hearing about it, but then I went back and looked at that scene right before I decided to watch the IG-80 or IG-11 fight, and I just couldn't see any droids. I didn't see any glimpses. I was kind of trying to do the pause play. Of course, I was on my lunch break too, so I was trying to hurry so I could go to the battle. So I didn't see it. Unless these scenes kind of tied to the trailer scenes or the picture scenes. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just, like I said, I just didn't see it. Maybe I needed a bigger screen because I watched it on my phone. And me and my wife are going to get Disney streaming here soon. I used a different app to watch it.
Oh, a different app.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I had to watch it, and I didn't want to wait till we got the streaming service. We'll be probably getting that here in the next couple of days, and I'll actually watch it on a bigger screen to actually see it so that my son can also see it too. But
yeah. We had a comment come in here, and maybe this will tickle your fancy. Smurf Herder says he can't join the voice, but wanted to point out the Mando's gloves were extremely similar to Ezra's. Not a big takeaway, but I love the episode. It's interesting. They were kind of that dark. Ezra's got kind of like a dark brownish red, right? Glove.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I'm gonna quickly. That's something to pull up, like Ezra Bridger.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I never saw that. Like, it could make sense because I felt like, even though it wasn't like a finished off, but I felt like he could have had a relationship with Sabine if things didn't take their. I don't know. His gloves. Looking at some of the pictures, his gloves are green.
Oh.
Let me look at the. I don't know. I'm actually curious. It made me curious now.
So they're saying you guys were talking about being adopted and orphan. They said foundling. Rooster says foundling is definitely equivalent of orphan. So maybe that is what foundling means. I mean, found seems. I mean, that seems like the operative word there. So maybe that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, it seems like that. It looks like the Mandalorian's glove is an actual glove with the orange tips. It doesn't look like his fingertips.
Okay.
Ezra's has, but the color is is green, but Ezra actually has his fingertips showing.
Okay.
So it
Interesting.
I don't know,
Yeah,
could
maybe
be-
we're just reaching there. Maybe it's a little.
Yeah, someone's reaching, and hey, it is a worthwhile thought to think about.
Yeah.
Like being connected to the Force in some ways, and maybe just. But at the same time, Ezra kind of grew up during the Empire, not the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that throws that off a little bit. Is he was growing up during the Empire campaign, not the separatist.
Michael Harris.
campaigning
Yeah,
over-
Michael Harris says he's watching Rebels right now, and his armor is in a match. There you go. And there's some commentary here about how Trogdor says he doesn't like how they should be treating Yoda as a mystery, and he should remain a mystery. That's not how Kathleen and Disney work. That's an interesting comment, and I felt the same way about when Dave Filoni tried to explain the Force in like the season 6 of the Clone Wars. I didn't like any of that stuff. Just the Force should be. Anytime someone tries to explain the Force, I always go say the Force should just be the Force. Anybody can have it, and it should just be this mystical thing that no one understands. So hopefully,
yeah, that would be. Yeah, that was like, I will admit, season 6 of Clone Wars kind of had a bad taste in my mouth. Like all the other Clone Wars seasons were fine, minus the random Jar Jar episodes and C-3PO episodes, but they were all pretty good. Or actually, they were all great, but just like I didn't like the idea of the chip. Like I kind of get it, but at the same time, I liked the explanation of the chip or not the chip, but why the clones turned on the Jedi in Karen Travis's Republic Commando novels. I just like the feel of that better. They were trained for that, to follow any of those specific orders, because there was more than 66 orders. And then there was the change, which I kind of now more okay with it, but the Korriban to Moraband change of the Sith home world, I can see it where the time of Galactic and the Old Republic Clone Wars era, they call it Moraband just because of all of what happened on Korriban, that they decided to change the name. But
I hated that.
I still will call that Korriban.
I
still call it.
I mean, you played SWTOR, right? I mean, it was.
I played SWTOR and KOTOR 1 and 2.
It was Korriban. I'm like,
yeah, it was Korriban. Yeah,
I remember like going back and I'm like, what do you mean this is called Moraband now? I'm like, why did they change this? I didn't agree with that.
Yeah, and plus Darth Bane's tomb. I don't remember the name of the planet, but he did not die on, unless it was just a Sith illusion. But I don't see them. Darth Bane didn't die on Korriban. He died on some other world. I just don't remember which one it was. So I don't know. Like outside of that, like I'm really excited for season 7 of Clone Wars. But going back to it though, the Mandalorian, I will say I can't wait to see more episodes, just because it's been amazing. And honestly, I hope that they actually make these two main bounty hunters so far into the game of Swilga, and give us the IG-11 droid tank.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. It just goes out in the battlefield and starts AoEing, flipping around.
Yeah, bounty hunters need another tank too. They can't rely on Bosk all the time.
Okay, Anitesh, good.
Yeah.
I got one more guest to get to, and then we will be wrapping for the night
All
here.
right.
But I just want to say thank you for coming on. I can always count on you for some quality lore Star Wars conversation, my friend. Be well, okay?
All right, thanks.
Here we go. Detroit fan 316 says, no one bringing up the fact that a 50-year-old baby. No one bringing up the fact it was a 50-year-old baby. How odd is that? I wonder if it will speak. 50 years old, brother. You'll have to remember Yoda was 900, so that's not anything too crazy. Yeah, I hope I don't know. It'd be great to see how this progresses. I'm so excited. It was the great reveal, and it just got me. It made me feel awesome. All right, here we go. Let's go see if we can get my man, Anger. See if we can get him. There he is. Let's give him a call. All right, let's see who else we got out there. We got Robbie Buxton. Welcome back to the hall, Robbie. What episode does that take place? Not sure what you mean. Oh, the Force? They try to explain the Force. It's like midway through season 6 of the Clone Wars. The living Force and the cosmic Force or whatever. TFE IG-11 said that species age differently. There you go. And then Joshua Homestead, The Mandalorian was phenomenal. Absolutely agree, Josh. Absolutely just so happy right now. Next to Solo, this is the best thing. I would say this is better than Solo. The best thing that Disney has produced with the Star Wars license, hands down. 50 could be 5. That's old enough to talk. Says Snake Plissken. Snake, how are you? Hashtagger. It was awesome to see IG-11's auto lock in motion. Yeah, it was. And he had that gun, man. He had the sound effect coming out of that big rifle. That was just pure Star Wars, man. Khaleeson says, oh, think the B2 is in the flashback scenes. Yeah, I think that I tried to find it. I couldn't find it. OG Navarro says, it made me feel awesome. Me too, Ers. Me too. Love it. Anger, are you there? Anger, brother.
What's going on,
guys? There he is. Coming on for the hall, my guy. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
So what'd you think? Did you watch it?
I did, and you know, I love that it was kind of like a throwback to like the old westerns.
Yeah,
you know,
spaghetti western vibe for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I was actually kind of curious on you know, how they brought up when they were making the armor and everything, and she was talking about his sigil.
Oh yeah, I didn't quite understand. Like his icon, his family icon, or his family crest.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, so if he was, you know, like an orphaned child, they obviously know what family he came from.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Good comment here. Mysterious Stranger says the transitions between scenes reminded me of the old movies. And I will say at the end of that scene where he's crafting his armor piece, it does like a wipe that's very similar to the original trilogy. It's like a circular wipe. So cinematography, it just feels right, man.
Yeah, no, it was, I thought the whole thing was very cool. It's hard to pick something that, you know. Sorry, I'm walking through the neighborhood and someone's dog is barking apparently. But yeah, it's I thought the whole thing was great, you know, and it's hard to touch on anything that no one else has already touched on, you know.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Like I went and watched it. It was less than an hour, right? It was like 45 minutes only, wasn't it? Maybe even less than that.
No, it was. Yeah, it was like, I think it was less than that, you know, and I'm like, every time Ryloth's saying something, I'm like, dang it, you know, now I can't bring that up. You know?
Yeah, we let Rye can just go, man, and we love him for it.
Yeah. Oh, he's got an attention for detail, let me tell you.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, guys, we are at the halfway point of the hour, and that's time for me to wrap up. I want to thank everybody that came on tonight. It was Ryloth Leku, our man, Anger Leads to Great. We had Anditesh Ordo from the Planet Nude. Lots of good commentary, guys. Thank you so much to all my guests. Anger, my man, why don't you tell everybody to get to their ship safely, and let's issue the evacuation code signal.
All right, everyone, get to your ship safely. If you need any help to your ship, make sure and let anyone know. We'll get you there and issue that evacuation code.
Good night from the hall, everybody. We'll see you for the next recap show. Love you all.
Give the evacuation code signal.